Okay, well, this I think is, well, not I think, this is my first real update on the Round 2 Comlock. And figured before I get too far ahead of myself, I'd do this video to kind of show you what I'm doing to support the mods that I'm going to do, which are pretty much the same mods that I did to the resin prop that I got from AJ. And fortunately I made additional assemblies to where this should go together a little bit quicker. One thing that's going to really kind of impact me is the weather's too cold today. I think it's only like about 46 degrees, so I can't paint, and I need to paint this before I get too far forward, because once I start putting the electronics in, I'm not going to want to hit this thing with any kind of mist or possible material that could interfere with switch contacts and things like that. So I have to get these things painted and then have the paint really sit and dry for quite a while. So what I'm doing is, right now, I had done, let's show you on this one here, cut out the material in the front to support the LCD panel and the camera head that's going to go down here in this corner here. The way you get the prop, it's designed for their specific interpretation of the screen and to accommodate people who want to backlight it. So this material had to come out. This had to come out because I need to put in a screen that supports that. What did I do? I thought I had that here. Hold on. All right. This is what I had done before for the grill, and what it, let's you know, I need a bigger workbench. Okay, it's going to go on similar to that, where the top will be the screen mesh, and the bottom here, it's got to be dimensioned differently. I'm going to be able to do a much cleaner job here. Let's see, let's stop this. Okay, these are all short for this particular version, so I'll be making new ones of these, but it'll be the same basic idea. The screen mesh will be as far down as I can get it, and then I'll stop because I have to have the camera head in there. The impression was on the show, the way they faced it towards the actor, and the actor spoke into it, that the camera was behind the screen. That is starting to become a thing. Cell phone companies are really pushing the technology and trying to get it to market, but haven't quite gotten there yet. And for us hobbyists to be able to implement that into this, it would be really cost prohibitive. You'd have to have a custom-made display. So I'm fine with having the camera head down here. After all, it's just a prop, and I'll simply take creative license. So anyways, this all, as I said, I've cut it out. I'm doing two units right now, but I've got enough to do quite a few, but I need to get more of these. I kind of wish Round 3 offered this as two separate kits. I really don't have any interest in the laser pistol. That's where I'm at as far as this is concerned. Now we're going to talk about switches. I want the buttons to have tactile feedback, which my resin one couldn't do easily because of just simply the thickness of the parts and the congestion of all the electronics inside. One being the fact that the main board for the Spy Gear video walkie-talkie is just too big. This is a bad board. I had one of the units that I bought off eBay bad, and it kind of annoyed me, but I got it super cheap, so I can understand why I got it so cheap. But anyways, it became a good test fitting I could use it to test fit my progress. For any of you that are out there contemplating going the same route, doing what I'm doing, be aware that the Spy Gear video walkie-talkies will not just fit in there. I had to do quite a bit of modding to these things, namely along this edge, which I'll focus in a second video on that. This had to get cut back because the only way you can really fit the board in there is diagonally, and you're going to have to cut some of this material away again to kind of get that down and fudge it in there. But as it comes, it's too wide. So if you're gonna follow what I do, be aware. You better be good with soldering and some knowledge in electronics. Otherwise, you're gonna end up damaging these things beyond repair. Because not only do you have to cut the board, you have to do some other mods. So let me set this aside and I'll do a follow-up video just focusing on this. So anyways, getting back to the switches, I wanted to do a tactile feedback. So I took these little push buttons, put them on a vector board, and they're going to lay in there. And I've got I've got a lot of plastruck pieces, but I'll start with my scrap bag here to find what I can use to support this, so that when you push the switch, you don't just pull the board out to the bottom and have to go back in. So anyways, I need this properly supported in order to do. So and these will reproduce sound effects from the show. I've also done the same for these buttons, which I'm not sure if I'll take advantage of that or not. I'll have to see. I didn't do that in the resin. But back here, these three were done for, and that's the switch array there. That goes, let's see, this one's better dressed for that. This goes down in here to give you that, oops, let's get this, that switch function here. And on mine, it was power, scroll down, scroll up, and below that is where the OLED display, and where did that go? Again, I thought I had all this stuff out here. Hold on. Will be a DF player, which is the same thing that I used in the resin prop. I made a little resistor breakout board here that gives me 12 individual tracks that I can select from. It's in the data sheet, and it worked out really nice because it's a very small footprint. Takes a compact flash card to a micro SD card, and you drive them with these little 10 millimeter, I want to say 10 millimeter speakers. Let's see what we got here. Nope, sorry, 15. They actually do fit in here really nice. And what I plan on doing, rather than putting in the two buttons that are provided, what I did on the original my resin prop was I used these. These are actually, if you take a look, these are tiny little drain strainers, kitchen sink drain strainers that I shrunk down and printed out, and I used those. I'll open up these holes and actually come in from the back, because there's a nice stop, and with the stop, the depth is just absolutely perfect. So that's what I'll do there. I again wanted to do this video because I'll get myself in trouble by building and building and building and forgetting to document what I do, and then go, oh crap, man, now I don't have a nice breakdown of all the mods that I'm doing. So I'm going to try to really make a good effort here. When I was over in Hobby Talk, I used to really do almost step by step. I'm going to try to do that here. So anyways, getting back to this, fortunately I got a bunch of the batteries. These are 3.7 1000 milliamp hour batteries, and they're going to go as it did in the original, in my resin prop. They went in, actually it was on this side. You'll find in my YouTube channel a video covering it, and also if you go back to the Can You Hear Me Now thread, you can see where I've mounted the battery here. There's a little circuit on the side that has the momentary on-off that I got from Palo. And what's nice about that particular circuit is it draws so little current when it's off that it's almost negligible. But what I do is I have it wired in the back where, and I'm still going to be able to, oops, sorry, do this as I did before. There is some problem with warping, but fortunately everything conforms once you put it together. What I also will be doing is back here, it'll be my charge plug that'll be hidden when the cap is on there. Let me stop for a second here. Okay, so what'll happen is the charge plug will be there, and fortunately being plastic, it's going to be a lot easier for me to shrink this down and have it fit in a little bit deeper, and the end will just cover it over so that it's hidden when you're playing with the prop. But you come off and you put what I did was I would put a connector in that would open up the there's a make break circuit in here that will disconnect the battery from the electronics but allow the incoming voltage to go to the battery for charging, so that when it's plugged in and attached to a power supply, it's charging the battery. But when it's just a plug like this, a dummy connector, nothing hooked up to it, what it does is it disconnects the battery totally from the electronics and will further minimize the amount of discharge if you put these things in storage for a long period of time. So we'll be copying that, or I'll be copying that in my next build, or I mean in this build. So let's see, where am I going from here? I guess now I'll stop and we'll focus on the Spy Gear walkie-talkie itself and what you got to do to the electronics. So hold on. Actually, let me conclude this and we'll do it in a standalone video. So I'll see you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, senior me. I guess what I could also show is here, back here, I will be putting in another OLED display, but this time the display and everything will be all on the inside. And you'll just see it from here, because this is much thinner, so I could get away with doing it rather than having the OLED out and having it sitting on the back here. It'll just be a cutout and you'll see it, and that'll be good because I have another thing that I want to do there too. So thoroughly enjoying the styrene version of this. And again, not that there's anything wrong with the resin version. It was just for what I'm doing, the styrene gives me so much more possibilities and a lot easier to accomplish those possibilities. So let me stop here and I'll clean off the bench and we'll look at the Spy Gear walkie-talkies. See you later. Bye.